All right, today we are going to have an overview of Cuscen's construction module. Let's start with the project setup here. Here, users can configure the details of new ventures within the project setup screen. As you can see, we have different project types listed. For example, CO1 for internal projects, EXD for external projects, and NGO for donor projects. It's important to select the type that best describes the nature of your projects. By selecting a project type, we can assign specific rules for allocating, billing, data access, ensuring each project is managed in line with its unique requirements. Next, let's go to allocation rule. This feature allows you to determine how costs and revenues are to be allocated across various accounts and departments. We can create new allocation rules or edit existing ones. Let's try to edit this one. We can add the description, whatever we like. We can change the value to manual or radio. Yeah, and next we have the billing rules section. We can set up the rules that govern how billing is conducted in here, whether it's based on a fixed price, time and materials, or any other method. Setting up, billing rules correct is crucial for accurate invoicing. For example, in here we have the manual billing rule indicated with that M. Which means each invoice will be prepared and reviewed by our team. Next, we have the cost code. This is vital for tracking project expenses. Here, we can define various cost types like COEQ1 for equipment or COLB1 for labor. Each cost code is linked to an account code and name, ensuring every dollar spent can be tracked back to a specific budget line. Editing cost code is straightforward. You can simply click on edit and we can update the cost codes, description, and associated account details. This keeps your project financials organized and transparent. By setting up project allocation rules, billing rules, and cost codes correctly, we can ensure that our project management is not just effective, but also efficient, aligning with our organization's financial priorities. Let's move on to the account group section. In this section, we can categorize expenses from equipment to subcontractor fees. In here, we see a list of various account groups, each with a unique purpose for classifying expenses within our project. For instance, air ticket account group. This is where we categorize all air travel related expenses, whereas equipment is for project-specific equipment cost. Notice the checkbox to the right. This represents the categorization of each expense type like labor, equipment, contractor, overhead, other expenses, land, and whether that kind of group is active. We can click on project equipment and we'll go up to the detail settings. In here, we can fine tune its attributes, like whether it's active and which type of expenses includes if material, labor, or overhead, and among others. Within each group, we can define individual accounts. For instance, this account code here, CIP, construction progress, BOQ. Each account is a unique code and name, allowing for granular tracking and financial data. Our system also classifies each account with an account class and type, which we can designate an asset, liability, expense, and more, ensuring consistency and compliance with accounting standards. Back on the main page, editing account groups is straightforward. We can just click on add on the top. And here we can modify descriptions, activate or deactivate accounts, and fine-tune the expense classifications to the fit of project needs. Maintaining a clear structure in your account group is vital for accurate financial reporting and also with the management. Let's dive into BOQ, Bill of Quantities. This crucial component acts as a financial navigator, detailing the materials, labor, costs associated with each project. Here, project managers can track expenses down to the finest detail, ensuring financial transparency and control. Each entry in the BOQ section is meticulously logged, indicating status, description, dates, and total costs involved. From garden material to subcontracting work, every expense is accounted for, providing a clear financial path from project commencement to completion. Let's delve into a specific BOQ. For example, let's go up BOQ King. Here, we'll find a granular breakdown of a total materials and labor cost. The system display lines items such as administration tasks, along with corresponding labor rates and total amounts. Important to note here, the total material and labor costs, which are vital for tracking expenses against the allocated budget. You'll see an itemized list where material quantities, unit prices, and total amounts are meticulously recorded. Let's explore the functionalities at our disposal with options to add, view, edit, and delete entries. The system offers flexibility and managing your BOQ. Additional actions like import, export, and print cater to data handling and reporting needs as well. Next, let's move on to the project development. This is where the planning takes physical shape. In here, we delve into specific of each project. It's a workspace for defining project codes, settings, timelines, and assigned managers. Here, every project is given into a life with start and end dates, budgets, and margins clearly outlined, as we can see. When we click in the project like MCR, let's go with this home development, we will be taken into a detailed summary. This page is our hub for all project-specific information, such as currency, project manager, start and end dates, and budget details. It's all in here. Structure for clarity and ease of access. Now let's look at a phase. Here we can see a list of all the phases associated with our project. For MCR, we see phase 1, phase 0, and so on, along with specific tasks and financial allocations. Next, we'll go to the road tab. We discovered the geographical breakdown of the project. It's not just about when things happen, but where. This tab aligns phases with specific roads or locations, giving us a spatial understanding of progress. Next, we have block floor tab. Takes us even deeper, categorizing project tasks by specific zones, ensuring that every detail is accounted for, from block AB to garden 26M. Our system keeps it all organized. Next, we have the unit. We begin to see the tangible elements of our projects in here, such as unit codes, types, and descriptions, provide a detailed look at the individual pieces that comprise the, let's say, the bigger picture. Next, we have the unit transfer section. This section is critical for financial oversight. Each entry logs a transfer of units with associated costs, dates, and involved parties. Keeping track of financial flow is the key to project success. Next, we have the purchase invoice tab, a clear ledger of all invoices related to the project, from vendor details to the amount paid. Financial transparency is in our fingertips. Lastly, we have the inventory movement. In here, we track all materials coming in and out. It's a backbone of our logistical operation, ensuring that everything is in the right place at the right time. Moving on to the service requests. This feature is a streamlined system for internal requests. It is designed for internal efficiency, allowing team members to submit requests that are automatically routed for approval. Whether it's for materials or services, requests are placed, approved, and tracked efficiently, ensuring timely fulfillment and accountability. Each column in here represents specific details about the service request. As you can see, request number is our unique identifier. Status indicates the current state of the request, such as completed, approved, or canceled. Branch, project, and description provide context about where and what the request is for. We can also note how most requests are marked completed, indicating a high rate of task resolution. Let's click on this first one, or maybe let's go with this one, MCR. And the system will provide into detail view. And as you can see in the screen, breaks down the request into items, quantities, and estimated cost. Scrolling down, we have the item detail section. Here we can review each item's code, description, quantity, and estimated price. This ensures transparency and helps with budget tracking. Moving on to the summary tab, we can see individual items listed in here, along with their descriptions and the quantities requested. Each line item also shows its respective estimated price, contributing to the total cost. Next, The unit section details the specific location or unit where the materials will be used, adding another layer to managing and tracking the request effectively. Lastly, we have the detail tab. In here, detail tab links to the request to previous documents for better tracking and for audit trails. This can help maintain a clear and accountable workflow. Moving on to the vendor selection. Here, we have a list of quotation numbers, their status, the associated project, and detailed information such as the date, request reference, priority, total cost, and quantity. Notice that each entry is carefully tracked, ensuring transparency and control over each step of the procurement process. Let's click on this one, and we will be taken into the details page. This screen provides an in-depth look at the specific items requested, their descriptions, quantities, warehouse locations, and the estimated cost per item. It's important to highlight that the approval quantities are meticulously recorded to maintain accountability as well. Moving on to the summary tab. In here, we can view a summary of the items, showing us a detailed overview. This allows our team to quickly verify quantities and descriptions without navigating away from the summary view. Next, we have the bidding vendor tab. This critical part of the system is where we can select potential vendors and define terms such as currency, delivery lead times, promise dates. This helps us evaluate which vendors meet our criteria and deadlines, ensuring we select the best possible partner for our needs. Moving on to the price history tab. In here, we can track the historical data of transactions. This includes detail about the PO number, vendor code, name, the item description, and the unit price. We can keep an eye on the historical pricing. It helps us negotiate better and understanding market trends. Lastly, we have the purchase tab. This is the combination of our vendor selection process. Here we can see the final approval status, where each item's quantity and chosen vendors are confirmed. This step signifies the end of the selection process and the beginning of the procurement phase. Moving on to the contractor PO. In this section is dedicated to managing purchase orders for contractors from issuance to fulfillment. In here, we are presented with an overview of various contracts. We can notice the streamlined layout, allowing for immediate visibility of contract numbers, status, associate projects, and vendors. The list ranges from approved to closed status. Let's look at a specific purchase order. We can go with EM engineering in here. As we select this PO, the system reveals its comprehensive details, including the PO type, date, and amount involved. It's critical to review these details for accuracy. The item tab lists the items order, their quantities, and unit prices. It's a quick snapshot for cost management and order tracking. Next, we'll go on to vendor details tab. This tab provides insights into the payments term, tax information, and the contact details of the vendor. Ensuring these details are correct is pivotal for seamless transaction. Moving on to, let's go, prepayment. Let's go to price history. In here, we see the list of the contract numbers, vendor code, and vendor names. It shows each vendor details with their description and their quantity and unit price. Lastly, we have the unit tab, where we see detailed breakdowns by phase, unit types, and quantities. It's a deeper dive into the specific of the order, crucial for project planning and execution. Moving on to inspection. Let's put the PO number first. Let's go with this one. And vendor. Let's run it. This is the vital aspect of the project management. In this module, it allows us for rigorous quality control, ensuring that all services and installations meet the required standards. In the center, we have the main interface. where inspection details are meticulously recorded. You'll notice the PO number at the top, which reference to the purchase order related to the inspection. This PO number, PON, is a unique to every inspection for precise. Below the PO number, we have details such as zone block, project, BOQ, job type, PIC, vendor, and inspection type are listed, offering a snapshot of the job specifics. Let's delve into the table here below. This table is where the inspection criteria are itemized. The phase column, for example, has phase 01, indicating the project's current phase. Moving across here, the unit type and the unit code, which describes the specific unit or section of the project under inspection. Material code and material description provide details on the materials used, which in this case is this material number, material code, corresponding to P2C01. The progress work column shows the percentage of work completed, which currently stands at 0%, indicating that the work has hit the start. Claim, total, receipt, offer, financial tracking of the project phase. In here, we can see that while no claim has been made yet, but the total stands at 1%, and the receipt is at 0.50%. The variance column indicates discrepancies in plan versus actual progress or financials, providing a quick reference for project managers to identify any issues. Finally, the columns area, street, zone black, request no, and no provide additional location and identification details necessary for comprehensive inspections. With this tool, the construction managers can ensure every phase of the project is completed to the highest standards and within budget. Next, we have progress claim. This module allows for the submission and approval of claims, linking payments to milestones, and ensuring a steady financial flow based on actual progress. It ensures timely compensation for ongoing work, aligning financial transactions with project objectives. We can see a list of claims showing document numbers, associated branches, projects. We can see a detailed financial information with status ranging from open to completed and canceled. An open status means that claim is still active and requires attention. Let's open one of these ones. Let's go with this. Let's go into technology, and we'll go into the detail view. In here, we can check the item summary and approval flow. Again, a completed status like on this claim signifies that it has been fully processed. Moving to the financial section up here, or no, let's go with item. That's final. Yeah. Moving on to financial section, we anchor the billing specifics in here, including asset and tax codes, currency, and amount of the rate per USD and the receipt stage. In item in here, we observe two material codes, both categorized as non-stock items for warehouse WH1. Their quantities and unit price are listed, which rolls up the total amount claimed. Let's go under the invoice. Under the invoice tab, we find the related invoice reference number, signifying the vendor charge for the supply materials. It confirms the quantity and the release status of the payments. Moving on to the approval status tab is where we can track the approval process. A claim cannot be completed without the necessary approvals. Next, we have the BOQ alteration. Let's go try, let's run it. Yeah, and now we are presented with a list of unit codes, as we can see in here, corresponding to various phases and locations within our development projects. This meticulous layout is essential for project managers to track changes accurately. You can notice the column headers with their unit code, phase, road, avenue, block floor, and so forth. These are tailored to provide a snapshot of the project's key components, from type of units to their exact dimensions. Starting with the LXA here, the first one. This unit, we see it's currently assigned to any phase, and it's located between rows R1, R16, and R17. Its unique identifier ABCDE helps us track its BOQ changes distinctly. Each unit size area is precisely documented. For example, this one. At a comfortable 4x16 meters, it represents a typical allocation for a Kiwi unit type. Crucial to our timeline, we can see the start build date and the expected finish date columns, lay out the project schedule. The completed percentage column remains at 0 as stark reminder of our commitment to real-time updates. Once work begins, these figures will reflect our progress meticulously. The description provides context for each entry. BOQ King designates a standard unit, whereas a BOQ Garden 26M indicates a more customized space with garden area. Some entries are still in the planning phases, like this one, reserved for future testing. It's crucial for our teams to allocate space for quality assurance before the build commences. Moving on to the unit transfer. Let's put all the information. This system is designed for the meticulous record keeping and movement of units, ensuring that every asset is accounted for, highlighting unit code and BOQ columns. As we can see on the left, you'll notice the unit code, uniquely identifying each project unit, connected to this BOQ or bill of quantities, defining the scope of work for each unit. Next, we see unit class, which categorizes units by their specifications, followed by standard cost, the anticipated cost for completing each unit. Moving right, we see actual cost, captures real-time expenses, while completed percentage showcases work progress in a quantifiable manner. Let's zoom in a specific entry, for example, like, this one. This unit has a high standard cost with the actual cost reported as well as their completed percentage. At the top, we have the run date stamps are entered to the specific timeline, ensuring data accuracy. We can also see project names like home development or project accounting of Global Fund Malaria Grant. That gives context to our unit data. The interface is user-friendly with options to export data to Excel SX, filter by zone or block, and update standard cost with a simple click. Each recording here is a detailed log with posting date, ensuring a timely reflection of progress. You have a question? Anyone have a question?
I don't have a question.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, we don't have a
I thought I
question.
heard something, my bad. Okay.
Okay.
Our drop-down menus on the top offer the flexibility in the viewing different batches of the data. Below, the pagination control indicates the vessel volume of data managed within the system, spanning across multiple pages. Okay, lastly, let's go with the reports. Standard reports offer a predefined templates and formats for generating standard project reports, covering essential metrics such as cost, schedule, and quality. First, we have the actual progress claim report. This report is essential for keeping track of work as it completed. It monitors the real-time status of construction stages and ensures timely submissions for progress payments. Let's run this. Put the branch as MCR1, put the dates. Let's run it again. And here we can see the detailed actual progress versus claim request report. Let's go back to the main report page. Next, we have the BOQ tracking. This report allows us to manage and revise the project's BOQ with unparalleled precision. We can stay on top of quantity surveys and material costs at a glance. Let's try to run this as well. Let's put the branch. It's going to be MCR1. Let's run it again. And again, here it is the detailed BOQ tracking report. Let's go back one more time. Next, we have the construction progress. This tool provides detailed insights into the daily advancements on site, keeping teams aligned and on schedule. Let's run this as well. Pulling the branch, the date. Let's run one more time. And then here it is the detailed construction progress report. Back on the main page, we have project planning. This is the cornerstone of successful project management. Our platform integrates scheduling, resource allocation, and critical path analysis in one user-friendly interface. Lastly, we have the transaction detail. This report checks every transaction, manage invoices, and ensure your project stays within the budget. Let's try to run this too. Put in the branch, the date. I'll run it. And here it is. We can see the detailed transaction detail report. Going back to the main page and moving on to the inquiry section. Inquiry reports, as we can see here, allow for customized queries and analysis, empowering project managers to extract specific information or insights tailored to their needs. First, we have the BOQ actual status. This support keeps us updated with the live status of bill of quantities, ensuring that we are on the track with your construction projects and financials. Let's run this. Put in the branch. We're going to change report type to raw and run it. And here we can see the details of BOQ actual status. Going back one more time, we have the BOQ construction summary. This report provides a comprehensive overview of your construction projects, consolidating critical data for easy assessment and decision making. Let's try to run this too. From the project. Indicated as purchase. Let's run it. And here it is. We can see the details of the BOQ construction summary report. And that's all from me, Kevin, for the construction module.
Okay, great. How
Okay.
about the mobile app?
Yes, let me open that up really quick as well.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Stop this really quick. Okay, we are on the main dashboard of the Cuscen app in here. As you can see, we have two PO opens, we have PO pending of 4, we have 1 PO approved. If you go down, we have the open vendor groups with their amount. We have the PO open by item class. As you can see, the item class on the bottom. We have the brick, salmon, skim, and 2 is this IQ splice stock. When I click the PO pending, see the PO pending by vendor group, such as material, subcontracts, IQ supplier. We can go with their item class, and item class as well as you can see below in here. Next, we have the PO approved. You can see the PO approved by vendor group, the IT supplier with their item class. Moving on to menu. In here, we can go to construction request and go all. When we go all, we have a couple open and close requests. Let's go to this first one. When we click on it, we see the summary with their request number, their dates, required date, their currency, status, and project name, everything in detail. Next, moving on the item, see the item details with the attachment, with their item code. Next, we can see the approver, and if you want to see the detailed report of it, we can click on the top right. And okay, let me try the next one. Okay. All right, moving on, we'll have the service request. Let's go all. As you can see, there are a couple completed service requests. Let's go up this first one. We can see the summary with their number, who's requested by, their date, department, status, and project name. It goes on. Moving on to the item, we have attachments, their code. As we can see, the attachment here with their description. Click on approver. No one approved yet. Let's try to get the detail report. I don't know if you can see. Yes, here is a detailed purchase request report. As you can see, who requested by, their branch, department, the request type, and the purpose. The priority is normal with the date and currency. With the material class, as you can see, we have two item codes with their unit and their quantity, price, and their total price. And yeah, that's pretty much it, Kevin.